Now on Talking Solutions, we've got Millie Thomas, and we're going to talk about this great program, STAR.
Yes. Senior Tax Assistance Rebate Program.
I'm really excited about this because we do have so many seniors.
Absolutely.
A lot of them on fixed incomes.
Yes, and that's why this program is so important for them, Terry. It gives them an opportunity to get a rebate on a portion of property taxes that they pay. That helps them have more discretionary income to do the things that are important for them in their life.
That extra unexpected money that comes into your life. Wow.
And that's the word, wow, because it makes such an impact to them.
It will make a huge difference. Now, the STAR program, I understand, Millie, came through Nevada legislature. They said, hey, we should have this program. I don't know where it came from, but I'm glad the money is there.
Actually, this program is a second or third generation of another existing program. Previously, there was Senior Tax Assistance Rent Rebate Program, and it was available to seniors 62 and older. That program ended in 2011. Well, thank goodness our 2015 State of Nevada legislature saw needs and wanted to meet those needs, so they put aside and earmarked approximately $5 million. This program's a little bit different because this focuses on seniors 65 and older, but it does not include the rent. It only gives a rebate for property tax income.
So you need to own a house in order to take advantage of this rebate.
Exactly. In fact, that's one of the eligibility requirements. You have to be an owner of a residence, and you have to reside in that residence full time. You have to have owned and lived in your primary residence for at least 1 year at the time of the application, and you cannot own any other property.
Now, from what I understand, Millie, the age restriction that we're talking about for the STAR program is 65 and older.
Exactly.
And if you happen to have a spouse,
yes,
their age does not matter. That's not part of the equation.
One person residing in the residence has to meet the eligibility requirement, and that person's name must be on the deed.
Gotcha.
So you could have 3 people living in a residence, and maybe they're not all 65, but as long as that person's name's on the deed, then they can submit the application.
Okay, so they own the house, their name is on the deed, they're 65 or older. So those are all important prerequisites. Those are the standards that you've got to meet to go for this rebate.
And there's a few more. They're all listed on the application, so nobody has to remember this or try to get a pen or pencil and write this down. And I'm going to give details of where to find the application with our website address. But let's just go through the prerequisites, the qualification requirements.
Please.
We went over the age, 65 years of age, as of June 30th, 2015.
Of last year.
So anyone who meets that criteria applies there. That's one check. The second check is residency, and we've talked about that. Must have owned and lived in the primary residence for at least 1 year as of the time of the application. The third is income. The income requirements are that a single applicant cannot make more than $23,540 and couples $31,860. And then the last requirement, there's 4 checkoffs, is limited financial assets. An applicant and or the spouse cannot have more than $150,000 of liquid assets.
So you couldn't have just gotten your check for winning Megabox.
No, unfortunately. This program is designed for people with needs.
Yes.
And so this is the criteria to target those people with true needs.
This is really exciting. Millie Thomas is in with us. You actually are with the state of Nevada?
Yes, I work with the state of Nevada in the Aging and Disability Services Division, and I recruit volunteers. So I'm going to put my plug in right now. If anyone is looking for an opportunity to give back to our community, I have 4 wonderful volunteer programs that they can serve and help people right here in our community.
I love hearing that, Millie, because the name of the show is Talking Solutions. And every time we have someone in studio, we ask, what can we do to help you?
We have opportunities. And that's how we build a great community here for everyone, giving back to the community. And this program we're talking about today, the Senior Tax Assistant Rebate Program, is great for people who need some extra assistance to get some help.
You know what I think is really funny, Millie? We always talk about how Washington doesn't do anything. Most of the stuff that really impacts our day-to-day life comes out of our state legislature.
It certainly does, because they put it right back in our community for our people who reside here. And after all, that's what we put them in office to do.
That's right. And these guys, the men and the women in Carson City with the legislature, they're actually doing something.
Right.
And this particular program, the Senior Tax Assistance Rebate Program, can make a difference for someone who has a lower income, probably a fixed income. And you're saying that by meeting meeting these qualifying factors and applying for the program, they can get a rebate kicked back to them by the end of the year of $500 max.
Right, and I'm glad you mentioned that because it's up to $500, and that can be a significant amount of money in someone's life.
Well, everybody I know loves the idea of
I
an
love
extra
it.
$500. I
Right.
can do some stuff with that.
Right. And did I talk about the deadline date?
We should get that out there.
Okay. The deadline date to apply, and that includes the application and some supporting documentation, is September 30th of 2016. And you can mail that application in. I'm going to tell you the address. It's 3416 Goney Road, Building D, Suite 132, Carson City, Nevada 89706. Or if you go to www.nv.gov, and over on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a little search box with a little magnifying glass.
Sure, yeah, those are on a lot of sites.
Yes. Type in there, Senior Tax, and then hit the magnifying glass. It will bring up the site where you can get the application and the instructions for applying.
Much easier because
Yes.
that way you don't have to go through the whole website. It's got all kinds of stuff looking
Right.
for
And I
what
remember
you
I told
want.
people you don't have to worry about having a pen and pencil ready to write down everything. Everything that I'm sharing today with our listening audience can be found at www.nv.gov. Go to the search box and type in Senior Tax. Hit that and get the application to apply.
We also put all these links and all the information on our Talking Solutions Facebook page,
Okay.
along with the podcast.
That's awesome.
Because for listeners, many are not 65 or older, many of whom do not qualify for this wonderful program. We all know some senior who could use it.
Exactly. And that's great because it doesn't have to be a program that you qualify for. It can be your neighbor. It can be your parents. It can be members of organizations that you belong to. That's why we're here today. We want to get the word out. We want to get these funds into the people's hands who need it.
Because the legislature has already allocated the money.
Exactly.
So let's get together the people who can use it. Let's take advantage of that.
And Talking Solutions, the Talking Solution is be the Paul Revere and share it in the community and let people know about this program.
That's what we're here to do today. I'm so glad that you're here.
Oh, I'm excited.
We do all know seniors who match these qualifying factors. So we just need to get the word out.
Exactly.
And this is the opportunity. We are only weeks away from that filing deadline, September 30th of this year.
Yes, and it's important that all the documentation is submitted by September 30th because in addition to the application, the applicants need to submit supporting documentation like their 2015 tax return, information that identifies them like copy of their driver's license, copy of Social Security card. All that information is listed on the application. They'll need to submit by September 30th, 2016.
So you can get it off the website. You can get it off of our Talking Solutions Facebook page, no matter where you access the information. I don't think I'd be delaying on this because
No.
if you were a senior who would qualify for this $500 maximum rebate, if you didn't get all the documentation right, you need to have a little time in there. You need to
Exactly.
not be on September 30th, the day
Right.
itself.
Start today.
Yes.
Start today putting your information together. You can also email the information. You can scan it in. I know we have some savvy tech seniors out there, and you can email it to starprogram@adsd.nv.gov, and that information will be on the nv.gov website.
Millie, this is great. We want to hit this again in just a moment. We'll come back around and remind everybody.
Okay.
I want to talk about your position
Okay.
and your department with the
Oh.
state of Nevada because I want to make sure that we talk about these volunteer opportunities that you have.
Oh, I'd love to talk about because I love my job. I recruit volunteers that work with 4 programs, all in the Aging and Disability Services Division. One of my programs works with residents in long-term care facilities. I recruit volunteers that go into those facilities. They listen to concerns and complaints that the residents raise, and then they work with state staff to resolve those. We call those ombudsmen because they advocate for the residents. That's one of my programs. 2 of my programs work with Medicare beneficiaries. One's called SHIP, that stands for, we have a lot of acronyms in the government. My rule of thumb is if you see 3 words together,
Shortcut.
exactly. So the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, volunteers in this program give counseling and advice and guidance to Medicare beneficiaries. Because imagine, Medicare can be complicated and you may have a question. Instead of calling 1-800-MEDICARE, you can call a local number. You can meet with someone face-to-face, or you can have someone call you on the phone phone and help you with your questions so that you're utilizing Medicare to your best advantage. We have volunteers that do that in our office. Another program that I recruit volunteers for is our Senior Medicare Patrol program. These volunteers help educate Medicare beneficiaries on how to protect themselves from Medicare fraud. Unfortunately, Terry, the Medicare fraud problem is a $60 billion problem.
Wow.
So our volunteers educate Medicare beneficiaries on how to identify fraud, waste, or abuse, how to report it, and how to read their Medicare summary notices or explanation of benefits that they receive from their healthcare providers. That's really critical because that's where you can identify if there's a problem, erroneous billing or fraudulence, and then they can contact Senior Medicare Patrol and have someone help them with that.
Yeah, as you're looking at your Medicare summaries that you get in the mail, you may see stuff that's like, I didn't have that done.
Exactly.
No, my doctor didn't do any of that.
Exactly. And our volunteers also pass out a nice little tool for Medicare beneficiaries called a healthcare journal. Because you can't always remember everything that happens the doctor does when you're in office, but you can document it. And then when you get your Medicare summary notice, you can compare it. And if something's amiss, then you can call the office and see if it's an error, because sometimes it's a true error. But if it's not, you can call Senior Medicare Patrol and get some assistance. So 3 programs I've shared so far is the Ombudsman program, where the volunteers advocate for residents in long-term care facilities, the SHIP program, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, where volunteers advise and counsel Medicare beneficiaries, and the Senior Medicare Patrol, where volunteers help fight the Medicare fraud problem. And my last program, my volunteers are called Special Projects. And I use this term again. They're my Paul Revere volunteers because they go out and conduct outreach in the community and let people know that we have free programs that can provide services. One program can provide subsidy, financial assistance to those who can't afford their prescription drugs on Medicare. Another program lets people know if they're caregivers for someone living with Alzheimer's, that they can have some assistance, some guidance on how to be an effective caregiver. And then my third program is we have free training in the community at St. Rose Hospital and at Nevada Senior Services, where people who are living with chronic diseases can learn how to live more effectively and have an improved quality of life. Those are all free programs, and our volunteers go out to community fairs and events, and they share information about our programs that we have at the Aging and Disability Services Division.
You really have a lot of things going on.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I love it because I love this population. I love older adults, and I love working with individuals with disabilities.
By doing interviews, having people visit on Talking Solutions, a lot of times I will talk with people who also work in the senior area. Mm-hmm. People like Don Miller, who's the senior specialist with Hope Link of Southern Nevada in Henderson. I love the stories hearing about our seniors, and I love the way that we do have resources available that can help pull them out of a desperate situation and help them.
Exactly.
We pay our taxes.
Yes.
And you hope that government will do something to benefit you.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is there are a lot of things for
Right.
seniors in Southern Nevada
Right.
where you can help them make it.
And you know, Terry, as you mentioned that, let me give a plug on a website where individuals can access and find out resources in our community that can help them. The website's URL is www.nevada, then another A, drc.com. You can go to that website and find out a wealth of information if you're a caregiver about all the different resources in our community that can be helpful.
I think you might be surprised
Yes.
how many are out there.
Yes. And they're not all government resources.
No.
They're nonprofit
Sure.
organizations that provide, it could be transportation, it could be respite, it could be meals. All those resources are in one place. It's designed to be a one-stop shop place to go to find local resources to help people in need.
So it's like a clearinghouse of great information.
That's a good word to
So
use.
you're probably going to find out about things like Helping Hands of Vegas Valley.
Exactly.
who
Catholic
helps-
Charities,
Yes.
many of those other organizations, you will find them on this website.
I will make sure that that website's link is also included on our Talking Solutions Facebook page. We've got Millie Thomas in from State of Nevada.
It's the Nevada Nevada Aging and Disability Services Division.
I love the thought of all of that. Such a great umbrella to help people in so many different situations.
Yes.
And you've got volunteer opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. And we've got the Senior Tax Assistant Rebate Program that we're talking about today because of the upcoming deadline, September 30th. We want people to know about this program, and we want people to apply and take advantage of it.
Because the money's there. It's waiting.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. The money's waiting for the applications to come in so that the checks could be distributed. Oh, I didn't talk about when one would receive the check. The earliest window of opportunity that we're looking at of distributing the checks is December of 2016, and the latest is June of 2017.
So just like any other tax rebate or refund that you file for, sooner we get it in, the sooner we're going to get the money.
Right. And it depends on the volume that we receive, but we're really hoping that we get a nice volume in because we want to distribute these funds to our community.
Today on the show, what we're talking about is this Senior Tax Assistant Rebate Program. You got to be 65 or older.
Yes.
You need to be a homeowner.
Exactly.
Your name needs to be on the deed of that property. You need to have lived there at least like a year or so.
Yes.
You need to have been in the residence for a little while. You didn't buy it last week, but you've been in the residence for a little while. You've paid some property taxes, and that's where this rebate is coming from.
Yes, you have to have been in a residence from at least July 1st of 2015.
You need to have been there a little more than a year, at least. Your name on the deed for the property. You're 65 or older. You've paid some of that property tax, and a couple little things you need to verify your income. Of course, we don't want them handing it out just because somebody sent something in.
Right. We want to really make sure that the people who are applying qualify and meet the criteria of the program.
Exactly, and it can benefit you up to $500. But the deadline for getting yourself filed for the program is September 30th, so it's not that far off. And like you said, Millie, do it today.
Do it today. I know I can be a procrastinator, so I know that game. But we don't want to procrastinate on this because, like you said, funds are waiting. So start today, work on that application, go to nv.gov, get the application. We're here to let people know about this program, and I really want to impress upon the listening audience to share this information for anyone that you know that could qualify.
Think about your grandparents, your parents. Think about that neighbor.
Exactly.
We all know someone who could qualify for this money. And how sweet would it be if you could help them find $500?
Exactly.
I think we'd all give it to them if we had it, but chances are we don't. But we know where the money is, and we know the people who can actually get it. So we just need to make sure that they know about it.
Exactly.
Plus, Millie, you've got those wonderful volunteer opportunities, lots of different things that people can participate in.
You know, Las Vegas is a great community, and I think communities are strengthened when people give back to their communities. I'm a little partial to volunteerism because I have a heart for volunteering, but people that volunteer care. They care about the community that they reside in, and they care about people. And those are exactly the kind of people I'm looking for in my 4 volunteer programs. Since the open enrollment for Medicare is approaching, I need volunteers who want to learn Medicare and who want to sit down in a face-to-face environment and help counsel or guide someone using their health care and their prescription drug plan. And when you learn Medicare, it not only helps the people that you serve, you can help your parents. I actually learned some techniques that could help my mom when I started to work with the state of Nevada because I was learning about Medicare, and I went home and said, Mom, did you know this? And she didn't know. And then I felt really good.
Teaching your mom anything is always a good thing.
But teaching Medicare,
That's right.
like, wow. And it's a great opportunity to give back. I'm going to give you my contact information, Terry, so you can put it on Talking Solutions.
I'll do that.
So if there's anyone out there recently retired and you're sitting around the house and you don't know where you want to contribute, well, I've got 4 programs that you can call and talk to me about. Volunteering is relevant to the person. Every opportunity isn't a great opportunity for an individual. So if our opportunity doesn't work, I have connections in the community. I can help you find the right volunteer opportunity. To me, the most important thing is that you find a volunteer opportunity and you give back.
We have such a giving community. And the more that you volunteer and you reach out and help someone else, the more, I call it splashback. It's a positive
I like
splashback.
that term.
It fuels you. And after you've helped out and you've been part of a volunteer situation, you want to do more.
Right. We have some volunteers that you would think they were staff because when you come in our office, they're there every day. every day, just waiting to serve the community and help others.
One of the people that I love seeing is Mary Vale, and she wrote the book, What's Your Philanthropic Footprint? And her PR business that she has also is very involved in making sure that those clients and these different groups get involved in efforts for our community. She's always taking part in the Boy Scouts food drives and helping to put out word on it, and has done stuff for Make a Difference Day. And those ties that you make to your community, this is home for all of us. But when you get started volunteering, wow.
And volunteering is good for us. Lots of studies have been conducted on volunteerism. People who volunteer are happier, they're healthier, they have a better mental well-being. So you get some positive benefits that you can't pay for by volunteering.
And we're asking you also to step up and volunteer if you know a senior who has a home that they own, and they have maybe a restricted low or a fixed income, and they would like to get some of those property taxes they paid back. They just might be who we're looking for the Senior Tax Assistance Rebate Program through the state of Nevada. The money's out there, like we said. Let's get it. And you have a filing deadline of September 30th.
Yes. I'm going to use your term, Terry. Let's make a big splash with the amount of applications that are going to come in for this program. And many people will get a rebate that can help them. So we all can help with that splash.
Up to $500. That's huge.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yes, great.
Millie Thomas from the state of Nevada talking about the Senior Tax Assistance Rebate Program. Is there anything I've forgotten?
Let me think here. I think I just want to emphasize starting today to gather your documentation, because there's supporting documentation that you'll need to submit. Your 2015 federal income tax return with all the backup documentation, copy of your Nevada driver's license or your Nevada ID card, a copy of your Social Security card, and income verification, which could be a paycheck stub.
All of that. It's not going to be that hard. This is like free money, found money.
Right. And let me just emphasize also, one of the requirements is that you have limited financial assets. You cannot have liquid assets in excess of $150,000. What's a liquid asset? That's what's in your cash on hand, your checking, your savings accounts, what's in your retirement accounts, your IRAs, your 401ks, your CDs, stocks, bonds, money market accounts, those types of assets.
And if you're in doubt as to whether or not you would qualify for this program, I just suggest that you check it out, because you might get some money back.
And there's 3 state staff that are waiting and available to answer questions that people have.
Absolutely. Millie Thomas, thank you so much for coming in to join us and give us all this information today on Talking Solutions.
Oh, thank you, Terry. It's been my pleasure, and I'm really excited about this. It's a great opportunity, and it's a great program. Remember, September 30th, 2016 is the deadline.